Welcome to this short video about KeyBas KStore, our warehouse management application that gives you total control over your warehouse operation. You're a successful and thriving business and in the lucky position of seeing your order levels increasing day by day. You're clearly doing something right. Customers are flocking to you with orders either on the phone or via your e-commerce site. The flip side of this is that you might be finding that your order fulfillment systems are bursting at the seams under the weight of the additional orders you're glad to be getting. Your warehouse pickers are finding it trickier to keep pace, and your paper-based systems could be the cause of as many problems as they cure, especially when it comes to pick routing and work allocation. Nevertheless, your pickers are managing to process your orders by following a general route as they fill the boxes, and they're able to get parcels out of the door once they have ticked off the items on their picking lists. How well do they do, and do you know exactly what's in each and every parcel sent out? Sure, there's a paper list with items ticked off, but how easy is it to actually find that list, and how reliable is the information on it? Just because a box is ticked doesn't necessarily mean the correct item was put in the box, does it? How many of your orders are reaching customers incorrectly packed? How many dissatisfied customers are looking elsewhere the next time they come to order? KeyBas KStore is our solution to help warehouse operators keep a very accurate track of what is happening to their stock and to ensure that what is ordered is exactly what reaches the customer. KStore can help you with your goods in, product put away, stock control, order picking, and dispatch. With KStore, your pickers will use handheld scanners and product and location barcodes to keep a very close track of what each order consists of, where every product in each order is located in your warehouse, and once an item is selected and scanned from a very specific location, your pickers will immediately be given confirmation that the item they've just picked matches exactly what they were told to pick. And if they should happen to pick an item incorrectly, just as immediately they will be advised that they have picked the wrong item, and then given the opportunity to correct the mistake long before the order leaves your warehouse. You'll also be able to track your orders using barcodes that are placed on your outgoing parcels, so that when an order leaves your warehouse, you'll know exactly what is in the box and be safe in the knowledge that the box contents match the customer's order. So, if it's a single item or a complete pallet, KStore can handle storage and retrieval. In addition, you'll have access to some very powerful management reporting tools to track your warehouse operation. In real time, you can track stock levels and where specific orders are in your system. You will know what is where in your warehouse and be able to let your customers know where their precious order is by integrating KStore's data into your order fulfillment application, which will allow customers to see when they can expect delivery of their order, meaning you get to keep them happy and make them repeat customers. So, KStore gives you total control over your entire warehouse operation. From the moment goods enter your warehouse, you'll know what has arrived and how much of it, where to place it, how to most efficiently route your pickers, and where an order parcel is going to, and when your customer can expect to receive it. That is KeyBas KStore in a nutshell.
Your supply chain has many steps. Disrupting any one of them can lead to critical shortages or costly overstock, either of which can impact patient care. One kind of disruption is called demand amplification, or the bullwhip effect. This happens when end users such as hospitals reacting to changes in demand over or under order supplies. In response, distributors and manufacturers change their orders. The difference between projected and actual needs grows larger with every step, resulting in too much or too little inventory for everyone. In theory, managing your supply chain should be relatively simple. Order 100, use 100, reorder. A controlled and predictable pattern. Of course, it's never that easy. First, the product may not be delivered in the amount you need. You need 17 per week, but it comes in lots of 20. So some weeks you order one lot, some weeks two, some weeks none. Also, predicting demand can be difficult due to such things as seasonal illnesses or an increase in optional procedures once patients meet their deductibles later in the year. In general, demand varies for 4 reasons. First, increases in your hospital census affect demand. Then there is clinical practice. Each health professional works a little differently. uses different products. Seasonality. Your needs change during flu and allergy seasons. Finally, demographic changes such as college students heading south during spring break and older adults following the seasons impact demand. Hospital census, clinical practice, seasonality, and demographics each cause demand to change, affecting your supply chain. Now consider that each is always changing, creating complexity and often dramatic fluctuations in demand. Let's look at a hypothetical example of how it works. Flu season is predicted to be worse than expected. Demand rises for respiratory products and patient use increases from 4 cases to 8. Since you expect an even stronger flu season, you order 16 cases, more than needed so you don't run out. Your distributor sees your order for 16 cases, so they react and order 32 cases from the manufacturer. Excess ordering extends and is amplified throughout the supply chain. Each step in the supply chain overreacts to ensure that they have adequate inventory to meet the demands of their customers. Now consider that other hospitals are also over-ordering. What's more, there's not an endless supply of product. Hospitals can order so much that suppliers simply can't keep up, and supplies run out. That's demand amplification, and the results can be costly. Inadequate inventory means you don't have supplies when you need them. Excess ordering means you have inventory you don't need, and that may become short-dated and expire. You're also tying up financial resources, paying for, and storing all that inventory. That was just one example. Think of the thousands of items in your supply chain and how demand variation affects them. These variations may seem unpredictable, but with the right data and analytics, you can see and predict patterns and trends in your usage. We can't eliminate changes in demand, but understanding them allows you to react appropriately and help control demand amplification. And controlling that helps control costs, a must for every hospital. Costs such as storing and transporting excess inventory, costs of wasted resources if out-of-date supplies must be discarded, and staff costs, because less time counting inventory means more nursing time at bedsides. Considering the potential savings, you have to look at your supply chain and ask, do we have visibility to data that allows us to see patterns or trends? Are we overreacting to one-time variations because we lack visibility to key data? At Cardinal Health, we want to partner with you to simplify inventory management, to help you better understand demand patterns, to gain visibility to data that helps you more accurately assess true variations. Cardinal Health Inventory Management Solutions can provide you with the right inventory management tools and the data analytics software to allow you to see predictable trends for both lower-cost consumable products and high-cost physician preference items.
The very basic question is why enterprise resource planning, also called ERP, is required. To answer, Let's examine this typical business scenario. A client approaches the sales team to buy a particular product. The sales team approaches the inventory department to check the availability of the product. In this case, the product is out of stock. The sales team approaches the production planning department to manufacture the product. The production planning team checks with the inventory department for availability of raw material. If raw material is not available within the inventory, the production planning team buys the raw material from the vendors. Then production planning forwards the raw materials to the shop floor execution for actual production. Once ready, the shop floor team forwards the goods to the sales team, who in turn deliver it to the client. The sales team updates the finance department with revenue generated by the sale of the product. The production planning team updates the finance department with payments to be made to different vendors for raw materials. All departments approach HR for any human resource related issue. That is the typical business process of any manufacturing company. Some key inferences one could derive from the scenario would be: a typical enterprise has many departments or business units. These departments or business units continuously communicate and exchange data with each other. The success of any organization lies in its effective communication and data exchange within these departments, as well as associated third parties such as vendors, outsources, and customers. Based on the manners in which communication and data exchange is managed, enterprise software systems can be broadly classified as decentralized systems or centralized systems, which are also called ERP. Let's look at decentralized systems first. In a company with a decentralized system of data management, data is maintained locally at the individual departments. Departments do not have access to information or data of other departments. To identify the problems arising from decentralized enterprise management systems, let's look at the same business process again. The customer approaches the sales team for a product, but this time he needs the product on an urgent basis. The sales team do not have real-time information access to the product's inventory. So they approach the inventory department to check the availability of the product. This process takes time and the customer chooses another vendor, leading to loss of revenue and customer dissatisfaction. Now suppose the product is out of stock and the sales team approaches the production planning team to manufacture the product for future use. The production planning team checks the availability of the raw materials required. Raw material information is separately stored by production planning as well as the inventory department. Thus, data maintenance cost goes up. A particular raw material required to manufacture the product is available in the inventory, but according to the database of the production planning team, the raw material is out of stock. So they go ahead and buy the raw material. Thus, material as well as inventory costs go up. Once the raw material is available, the shop floor department suddenly realizes they are short of workers. They approach the HR, who in turn hire temporary employees at higher than market rates. Thus, labor cost increases. The production planning department fails to update the finance department on the materials they have purchased. The finance department defaults the payment deadline set by the vendor, causing the company loss of its reputation and even inventing a possible legal action. These are just a few of the many problems with decentralized systems. Some major problems with the decentralized system are numerous disparate information systems that are developed individually over time and are difficult to maintain. Integrating the data is time and money consuming. Inconsistencies and duplication of data. Lack of timely information leads to customer dissatisfaction, loss of revenue, and reputation. High inventory, material, and human resource costs. these are just some of the major drawbacks for which we need a solution. Well, the solution lies in centralized systems, that is ERP. In a company with a centralized system of information and data management, data is maintained at a central location and is shared with various departments. Departments have access to information or data of other departments. Let's look at the same business process again to understand how a centralized enterprise system helps overcome problems posed by a decentralized enterprise system. In this case, all departments update a central information system. When a customer approaches the sales team to buy a product on an urgent basis, the sales team has real-time information access to the products in inventory, which is updated by the inventory department in the centralized system. The sales team responds on time, leading to increased revenue and customer delight. In case manufacturing is required, the sales team updates the centralized database. Production planning department is auto-updated by the centralized database for requirements. The production planning team checks the availability of the raw materials required via central database, which is updated by the inventory department. Thus, data duplication is avoided and accurate data is made available. The shop floor team updates their manpower status regularly in the central database, which can be accessed by the HR department. In case of a shortage of workforce, the HR team starts recruitment process with considerable lead time to hire a suitable candidate at market price. Thus, labor costs go down. Vendors can directly submit their invoices to the centralized enterprise system, which can be accessed by the finance department. Thus, payments are made on time and possible legal actions are avoided. The key benefits of the centralized system are: it eliminates the duplication, discontinuity, and redundancy in data. It provides information across departments in real time. It provides control over various business processes. It increases productivity, provides better inventory management, promotes quality, reduces material cost, allows for effective human resources management, and reduces overhead while boosting profits. Better customer interaction, increased throughput, and improved customer service. Hence, a centralized enterprise management system is required. SAP is a centralized enterprise management system, also known as Enterprise Resource Planning.
Today we're taking our cameras inside the home for business people who lack perspective. As you can see, it's kind of an odd place where things are a bit off-center. And for good reason, because each business leader here, lacking perspective, is completely unable to measure the performance of his or her company as a whole or of its parts. Despite having their hands on lots of data, they are unable to visualize the big picture. This executive is banging his head against the wall because he waded through a mountain of digital files looking for the latest spreadsheet report, only to find one titled Financials, New, Extra, New, Version 01, Outdated, Newer than New, Old, This is the Newest, Revised A, Unrevised, Supremely New 01.xls. That executive ordered a report on the performance of her IT department weeks ago. And what did she get back? A report on operations. And in the wrong format. Sorry, didn't you say Excel spreadsheet? Now let's take our cameras into the home for business people who use KPI dashboard to gain perspective. That's better. Looks like good times. To find out what's going on here, let's follow Charlie McScribblefizzer, COO of Scribblefizz, a new drink company. KPI dashboard put a smile on Charlie's face because it allows him to measure his business in key areas, called Key Performance Indicators or KPI, against the wisdom and experience of others who continually add new data to the KPI library, which can only make KPI dashboard grow ever stronger. So Charlie selects the KPIs that he'd like to measure for Scribblefizz. He gets an easy-to-understand visualization of where a given department stands compared to where it should be based on best industry practices. He can share his KPI dashboard with colleagues, shareholders, and business partners. Gone is the old way where departments, be they HR, sales, marketing, IT, finance, or others, would aim to achieve a goal and report back only how the operations went.
We spent X amount of hours and threw X amount of resources, darts at it.
Sure, sometimes Charlie would get feedback on the performance side of the equation. Ouch! But KPI Dashboard took the blinders off Charlie and allowed him to see where his groups were off target, and by just how far. That's called visualization of performance. That allows companies to adjust, change, and focus, and that's the magic of KPI Dashboard. KPI Dashboard: define, measure, share.